And we're back talking with Doyle, with State Representative Doyle Heffley, the indomitable Hunter Kipe, and as always, Chuck Nichols on the ones and twos. What are we talking about today, Hunter?
Yes, so we are back in session. It is June, so it's budget month for us down in Harrisburg. And yesterday was Monday, and there was a little bit of a stir on the House floor. And Doyle is the reason behind it. Doyle, can you explain what happened yesterday?
Yeah, so several times this session I have offered an amendment to provide meaningful property tax relief to homeowners in their homestead, primary homestead in this Commonwealth. And we've talked at length about this in other podcasts about my feeling on property taxes. So there was a bill before the House that dealt with a public school code. It was a grant program to distribute dollars to schools for female hygiene products. Now, let me just say right off the bat, I think that every public school should be providing some level of female hygiene products to young ladies across this Commonwealth, whether it be through the nurses station or in some other way that if there's a need for that product, they should have access to it. That's a no-brainer, right? And schools should maintain that. That's not a very costly thing. So this proposal, I think most schools already do it, dealt with public school code and in a sense deals with how we fund public schools, which is via primarily property taxes, especially in parts of the state where property taxes are very high. So my amendment, as I talked before on this amendment, would provide up to $1,000 per homestead relief for every homeowner in the Commonwealth. And I offered the amendment, and the Speaker ruled the amendment out of order.
Oh, big surprise.
Yeah, which she has done several times in the past. So I appealed the ruling of the chair.
Well, how about we take a moment to rewatch the clip from yesterday?
House Bill 851 deals with the public school code, and my amendment, 804541, deals with property taxes, as property taxes or local property taxes is how we primarily fund public education, and the inequity in that funding. This amendment, I feel, is relevant to the underlying bill in that it would provide relief for homeowners on their taxes, and which would go directly to the school. So I would ask for this motion so that we can actually debate the merits of the amendment, which to date we have not yet been able to debate on this House floor. So while I would imagine the majority party at this point doesn't want to take up property tax relief, I will continue to offer these amendments.
The gentleman will suspend. The gentleman will not question the motives of colleagues, members in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. When the gentleman had an opportunity to vote to lower taxes, the gentleman did not participate and vote in the affirmative.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
For what purpose does the gentleman stand?
Madam Speaker, while I agree that individuals should not question the motive of other members, did the chair not just engage in such an activity?
Just so it's clear for every member, the chair did not and has never questioned the motive. The chair was stating facts, so it's
Point of order,
clear.
Madam Speaker.
Those in favor
Point of order, Madam
sustaining
Speaker.
the chair's decision
Point
will
of
vote
order,
aye.
Madam Speaker.
Those opposed will be voting no. Members
Point
will
of
proceed to
order,
vote.
Madam Speaker. Am I being silenced, Madam Speaker, when I raise a legitimate point of order? Point of order, Madam Speaker.
All the members voted? Have all the members voted?
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
There's nothing in order but the vote which was called. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted?
Well, I've never seen behavior like that done on the House floor before, especially when it comes to the Speaker of the House.
Surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, as the Speaker of the House, obviously Joanna McClinton, Representative McClinton, Speaker, is from Philadelphia. She's a Democrat, and we all know that. And, of course, she's going to vote with the Democratic caucus. However, one of the biggest roles that the Speaker has is to manage the House floor. you kind of elevate yourself above. And when you take on that role, you are the speaker for 203 members in the state house.
They're trying to maintain decorum.
To maintain decorum. So in my comments, and I had been ruled, I had been voted down 102 to 101, 102 to 100 several times before. The majority Democrats always side with the speaker to shut down the debate and not allow for any discussion about property tax relief. So those were in my comments. The speaker, I mean, I wasn't impugning anybody because I was just pointing out the fact of the voting records of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. The speaker then chose to take a swipe at me saying that I didn't vote for relief. And I can say that that's not accurate. I have voted for property tax relief. Last session, I didn't vote for the overall budget, but I voted in support of a bill that would provide additional relief through the homestead, farmstead property tax rent rebate program, and that's what I kind of based this proposal off of, is to increase that for everybody. And in the years prior, I voted for House Bill 76. I have a record going back to my first day in office of always supporting that. So to take a swipe at me like that, and then to not recognize a parliamentary motion, a procedural motion by our leader to correct the record and correct the speaker, and just I think it's just disheartening because we focus on the House so much on the decorum in the House, how we conduct ourselves. I have a suit and a tie on because we're in session today. When I'm on the floor, I wear a suit and a tie. We speak in a manner to not bring the level of debate down. But for the speaker to then kind of go below that, I think it sets a bad precedence for the House and government. And we've seen this at the national level. And Democrats always like to say, well, it's because of the nationally Republicans that brought it down. No, they're doing it right here, is bringing down the whole level of debate in our Commonwealth.
One of the things that we hear people talk about all the time is that we want to be able to trust that our elected officials are working in our best interests and out here trying to solve the problems, not bickering back and forth. And this is just another example that leads us down the path of saying, what are you guys doing? Just be the adults in the room. That's all we're asking. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, and the problem is the amendment process is a process that is part of how we legislate, how we draft bills. So for the Speaker to continually, not just on my amendments, but all Republican amendments, continuing to rule them out of order and never giving that opportunity to debate. Each member in the State House represents about 65,000 people, and our voices, their voices, through me, need to be heard on the House floor. I said it in some of my other comments. We want to talk about equal opportunities. Every member of the State House has the equal opportunity to follow the rules and speak on the House floor, and the Speaker needs to recognize that.